Hi everyone, it's Lonnie. Welcome back to Grace Blossoms for You. Today I'm going to take my cheap Walmart watercolor paper. This one's a little bit thicker than the last one I used a few weeks ago. But I think it will do well because I want to make some tags and I think this will be about the right thickness. So I'm going to cut these into 2-inch strips and then I shall return. Okay, I'm hoping my tag punch is going to work for this because I have a specific tag in mind and I want to use this. So I have the medium one picked out at 2 inches. Doesn't love it, but it will do it. Otherwise, I would have to cut them by hand like I showed you last time, but I didn't really want to do that because I have something in mind that I want to do and I want to make quite a few of these. So I was thinking I would like some short and rather fat. Okay, chubby, there we go. Yeah, so I'm starting to measure where the top starts or stops, the wider part here. Excuse the language, not sure what to say today. I just had this idea that I wanted to try, and I think I've seen something like this before with the short tags, but anyways, I wanted to do some because I've never made short wide tags, and maybe you haven't either. So, and yeah, usually I made just big ones. I think probably the other day when I made the clusters was the first time. Well, I don't know. They were a little bit smaller than I usually make them, I guess. But these are short and stout. There we go. So, hope you all are doing well. Okay, that's a little off, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then I will do the rest of these, and then I will come back. Okay, so I'm back, and I have cut them all apart, and I think next I want to round the bottoms, the bottom edges. About like so. And I'm also going to fix the tops where the punch didn't quite, I probably didn't have the paper quite aligned right, so something like that. Alright, so I will do that and I will return. Okay, so what I have in mind requires my StazOn again, and let's see how fun this can be. I just want to stamp a bunch of images, and I'm going to start with my butterfly because I like butterflies. And let's see. I'm going to use this again so I can see where he's going to land on the tag. Now, I don't think, this probably isn't an original idea, and I don't know why I feel the need to say that, but I'm not intentionally copying anyone either. Okay, that works. That's pretty just even by itself already. So some of these I had to cut down because they weren't quite even. And it's fine, but at the same time, I do kind of want them to look pretty. So, try this again. And I'll probably make a bunch with the same stamp. So I don't know how many I have here, but probably less than 20, but definitely more than a dozen. So I'm going to do, I think, 6 of these with the butterfly. Oops, that should still work. And I want the textured side up. Oh, then I should have them facing the correct way here. That one's good. That one's good. This one I will do, but this one is, that one's backwards, but let's see. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Alright, so again, the reason I'm using Stays On because I'm going to add some water and stuff to this, so I don't want it to smudge. I do like that butterfly. Then I'll have to find something else that will look nice as well. Okay, I'm going to try and see what else I have, and then I'll be back. Okay, I guess I'm in the mood for nature today. So I picked out some birds. So let's try some birds. Okay, sometimes the birds are a little finicky and they don't want to print so nice. Now this one is really wonky. I don't mind wonky all the time, but sometimes it's not my favorite either. Alright, so let's try these birds. They're a little different. I get most of my stamps on Amazon or at thrift stores. Our Michael's is pretty expensive, so I don't go there very often. And if I do pick up something there, it's generally on sale. Okay, I'm going to do probably a couple more of this bird. So I'm just going to finish stamping and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm ending off with this honey and sunflowers. Lovely. All right, so that's the end of the stamping. So the next step, and I'm going to need some paper here to kind of protect my surface a little bit. It's not something I do often, but today I just felt like I didn't want to be overly careful because I'm going to be messing with some ink and brushes. So I'm just going to try and spread these out. So the other day when I used Penny's idea about ink and then splattering water and dabbing it up, I kind of had the feeling that it was probably one of those things that can get really addictive. And so here you go. I am going to do it again today. So if you haven't tried that yet, I would suggest that maybe you do if you like to play with ink. All right, so I have it looks like I have 18 of them exactly. All right, I'm going to get my inks. All right, I'm going to use these brushes. I only have 2, so if there's some contamination, I'm okay with that. That's just how it rolls. So I'll probably try to start by cleaning this a little. Maybe some purple on there. I should have put it on a tag. Sure, now it's clean. All right. I'm going to start with the lightest color I have, and I think that is yellow. And these are the smaller inks that I have. I bought them in a package from Tim Holtz or Ranger or whoever it is now. Okay. So I'm going to start with the yellow. And this is why I didn't want to use regular ink, because I figured it would probably, like for the stamping, I didn't want to use regular ink. I used my StazOn so that it would not get smudged. Okay, that's all right, I guess. I'll do one of kind of each. I'll do a butterfly. And I think the more ink you put on it at this stage, the better the water splotches will show up. Okay, I'm going to do one honey as well. Let's kind of keep them together here if I can. Now, I don't know if the ink has to be dry or if it can be really fresh. I didn't really worry about it or think about it last time. So, okay, I'm just going to do those. That's pretty bright yellow. All right, I'm going to get some water out here. Okay, I'm going to use this lid. I'll try not to spill. Yeah, I haven't done this before, so if you're sticking with me, I appreciate it. Okay, then I need some more paper towel. Still have this one from last time. All right, we'll use that. Then my brush. I'm just going to do them in color batches because, like I said, I don't know now if the paint or the ink has to be on there freshly applied. I'm not actually seeing a reaction yet. And two, I think it depends on the ink. Or maybe it's the Distress Oxide. Huh, I never thought about that. Because that lemon yellow, that lemon yellow was an ink, not a Distress Oxide. So let's see what happens. Oh, it did it. Okay, so this is the ink. And so it is picking up, making it splotchy. So it's not as yellow as it was. Okay. I might go over that with some brown later. I'm not even sure. Okay, so that was the yellow. Next I'm going to move to the greens. And this one is Shabby Shutters, I believe. Yes. These brushes feel very flimsy by the handle, so I don't know if I was going to do this a lot. I'd probably invest in some stronger brushes. Oops. All right, let's do one more and we'll make it this one. Okay, so that's one green. I do like that one. Probably one of my favorites. And splatter, splatter. Look at that. It did well, it picked up. So that's two colors. Then I think I want to do the milled lavender. Yeah, I'm going to do the lavender. I might come back to the greens if I have some colors that I haven't tried yet. I think that one, Shabby Shutters, is probably my favorite green. And this lavender is not very happy. Let me see if I can liven it up some by adding some water. It's kind of got more green on it now, where the green's coming out of the brush. There, I think I just had too much green on the brush. Okay. Well, least the stamped images are not fading or blotching, so that's good. Okay, I'm not too thrilled with the lavender. I may have used it too much. What happens if I stamp it on there instead? Oh, I'm getting some more color that way. That's good. It could be empty, I guess. That's too bad, because the only other purplish color I have is a violet. Well, may as well move to that one and see, since I already have purple on my brush now. Oh yeah, that's really bright. It's a little too bright. I'm going to try and get some off. Okay, that might be alright. I'll do a purple yet, another butterfly. So I'm guessing there's now water in the brush from when I added it to the lavender, so it's picking up lots of color. Plus this violet is rather new, so still pretty juicy. And it's called the Wilted Violet. Okay. Alright, so then back to splattering. So by now you get the idea. I'm just going to do the rest of these in different colors that I have, and then I will blot them, and then I'll be back for the next step. Okay, so that is the speckled egg, but I think it transferred to some of the green because, like I said, I don't mind a little contamination. I think it adds a variety to the color here. Okay, so then the last one I think I'm going to do is this dark blue, and it is Chipped Sapphire. And too, I was just thinking you could do more than one ink color on a tag. That was just kind of invading my thoughts just now. Try that. See, we'll just do that one color. To make it look a little blended. I kind of like that. I hope I'm in the frame still. I should have mentioned that I was gonna fast forward. I wasn't sure if I was gonna fast forward or just edit it out. I guess it depends. While I'm editing, if I get tired of watching myself, then I might just edit some pieces out. I figure if I get bored, then you would too, so. Alright, what color would do nicely here? I've got this Tattered Rose. I'm wondering Well, that's interesting. The tattered rose is taking off some of the blue. It must be stronger. So we'll do a little bit of that here too. So now my brush is picking up the blue. Okay, there's a little bit. It's not very pink at all, so it's all right. Let's see, I was gonna, mixing the paint now I'm finding is very enjoyable, and it is adding something for me. Another, not layer exactly, but it's another interesting thing about the whole thing. So now this one I didn't blot yet, and I may not even, because what's happening is it's making an outline there that I like. So now I want to see if the other colors will do that. So this has turned into a bit of a experiment, because I was actually thinking, what else am I going to do when once they've blotted, it just looks like there's pieces missing. But with this, I can see it especially on the blue or chip sapphire. It's pooling, and then probably the watercolor paper has something to do with it. So now what I really want to do is go over those original ones and see if I can get that same effect on there somehow. And maybe you have to let it kind of pool before you blot them. That's an interesting thought too. Yeah, see, now that I blotted it, I don't like it as much. So probably just let these dry. And then I'm going to go over those ones, maybe with a different color altogether. Maybe I'll add some of the bundled sage. And I'm going to cover up my pink here. Tattered rose. So that's got a two-tone green on it now. As does that one. I'm going to try just a little to see if it will do that pooling. I don't actually mind the two-tone green. And for these yellow ones, I think I'm going to do the exact same thing. Even the two-tone isn't bad if I can't have blotchy. Okay. See if it will pool on me again. Like I said, I think the watercolor paper has something to do with that. Okay. Yeah, I do like it when it dries by itself. I was just thinking, because I messed this one up when I blotted it. Try that. Now I'm going to do a little moving around here. All the center row kind of needs a little bit of help, I think. Okay, so then what color shall I use? Oops. I don't know if I'm still in frame, so let me just move a little. Okay, let's try this. It's a green, which now makes that pink or tattered rose look a bit on the beige side. That's fine. Okay, and then these were the lavender ones, I think. Maybe I'll add some blue because that looked nice. That kind of got streaky. Okay, so the other ones are not working quite as well. I think the blue actually had the best reaction. So, live and learn, I guess. But since the blue did have a good reaction, maybe I'll add a little bit over here. This reminds me a little bit of tie-dyeing. Don't know why. Probably just because, well, you get the different colors, I guess. Okay. Okay, so that's it for the inks, and I'm going to just let this dry, and then I will be back. Okay, they're not all dry, but they're getting there. And so now what I want to do is just tie a little bow. Sorry. Tie a little bow. I got this really long ribbon from Amazon, and it's just, I was surprised at how much of it there was on the one spool. Not used to seeing spools this big. Okay, so basically, something like that. It's probably too big, the bow. I'm thinking I should have done something a little different. Well, let's try something different on this one. What if we do that? Is that nicer? Yeah, I like that better. Okay, we won't do the bow. Alright, so some of these are still wet. I can add some ribbon to the others though. Let's see. I have this nice yellow ribbon still. And I have to figure out how to release it from the trap. I think it'll go nicely on these once they're dry. Okay, they're not even dry. I don't think I have an appropriate green for these, so I might have to use my white. It's so quiet here today. I don't know what's going on. I think with school being almost over, kids probably in a hurry to get to school. Plus there's the nice weather. That's not bad. Let's see what else. I have a pink ribbon too. Also another from Amazon. And I really like these because, I mean, look at how, how big they are. I think it's like, wow, 100 yards. That's close to 100 meters. This might be a lifetime supply here. I need one of the ones with pink on it. This one. Yeah, see, some of them are still wet. Let's see, what's dry? Then I could start there. Oh, it's fairly dry. I could do maybe this color. That would work. Might have to add a little bit of glue there so they don't come apart. Yeah, I like that color on there, so I'm going to do a few more because I think those are dry there. So I've got about, let's see, 6 inches of ribbon. Well, I hope you like this project. I think I could get really used to this playing with inks again. I never did this aspect of it very much, so. But I think I like it on the watercolor paper. Just trying to angle that a little bit. Alright, so some of these still have to dry. Alright, so I'm going to finish matching up the ribbons. And then I'll come back and show you what they'll look like when they're dry. Okay, so they're pretty much dry, and I'm gonna let them continue to dry now that I've got the ribbons on there. I did have one casualty, so I turned this into a twinchy, I guess. And what happened was the part where the ribbon was to go was too wet still, and I ripped right through it. So something to watch out for, but I think that's cute as well. And so here they are. Now, which ones are my favorites? I'm gonna have to go with the sapphire blue, or sorry, chipped sapphire, and the speckled egg combination. It just, I think it gave the best results. I don't mind the other ones, but I do like anything that had the chipped sapphire in is one that I'm really happy with. So the wilted violet is probably my least favorite, even when combined with the chipped sapphire. But there you go, folks. Hope you liked that. Maybe it gave you some ideas to play with your inks or watercolor. I mean, sure, you could do this with watercolor too. I just happen to have inks on my mind today. So anyways, hope you like that, and thanks for hanging out and watching. And I appreciate your lovely comments as always, and we'll see you again next time. God bless you. Bye for now.